The Geoscience Collection of the University of Bremen presents A Geological Journey Through Bremen, Episode 3, The Weser Renaissance in Bremen. In the previous episode of this short film series, we saw how the Bremer stone sculpted significant parts of Bremen in the history of its use, not only in northern Germany, but across the world. In this episode, we will focus on one particularly important era of its history. In the height of the Middle Ages, the Renaissance period had started to make its mark on the local architecture of many European cities, including Bremen. The city was experiencing a boom in the building sector at the time, and this was thanks to the success of its economy. The inspiration for the architectural styles during this boom likely came from the experiences of the high priests in Rome. Between 1520 and 1618, the so-called Weser Renaissance saw a period of creativity and particularly attractive building design. The Bremer stone became a key ingredient in the creation of the beautiful building we now see in the older parts of the city of Bremen. The building stone was chosen because it was known to be a uniform and homogeneous material, which not only looked attractive but could also withstand all weather seasons. Some of the most used and recognizable features of the Weser Renaissance architecture in Bremen include horizontal friezes with rustic and cubic ashlar, angel heads, arched portals with bosses, double-panelled pilaster on volute gables, and shell features. Many of the historic buildings we see in Bremen today were built during the Weser Renaissance, including the Town Hall, the Stadtwaage, the Gewerbehaus or Trade House, the Hausschütting, the Essighaus, and the Factoring Bank. The architect who took on much of the designing of Bremen's Renaissance-era buildings, including many changes made to previous designs and builds such as the Town Hall, Hausschütting and the Stadtwaage, was Ludwig von Bentheim. On the Town Hall, we can see the designs of arguably the most attractive building period in Bremen's history. Mussel and clamshells often adorn the top of window facades and ledges and the upper corners of building facades. This style can also be seen on the Stadtwaage. The Hausschütting also had changes made to its northeastern gable during the Weser Renaissance in 1565 by Carsten Hussmann, with further changes being made by Ludwig von Bentheim. The building and most of its beautiful traces of the Renaissance were destroyed during the Second World War, but recreated in 1950. The Essighaus was built completely out of the Bremer stone, unlike most other Bremen buildings during the Weser Renaissance. It was built in 1618 and had 5 floors, with 2 floors being gabled. During the Second World War, the building was destroyed with exception of the ground floor. The then Kontor House, which the paint wholesaler Haus Suding and Söken took on in 1901, was built with 3 main floors and 4 attic floors between approximately 1620 and 1630. It was used as a residence and for the storage of goods prior to its acquisition by the company. The ground floor and first floor were then recreated in 1730 in the Bremen Rococo style. The Gewerbehaus was built between 1618 and 1619, following the plans of Johann Nacker and Ernst Grossmann, as a guild house of the garment cutters and clothiers. This building is known as one of the most beautiful examples of the Bremen architecture between the Renaissance and the Baroque period. After being destroyed during the Second World War, it was rebuilt between 1948 and 1960. In the next episode of our short film series, A Geological Journey Through Bremen, we will find out which dinosaurs roamed northern Germany in the distant past. Stay tuned for Storms of the Dinosaur Era.